I'm about to say it, Leonard.
Mhm.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got to apologize for the tardiness. Leonard did it. Got to apologize for the tardiness.
They know better than that.
There you go. I want to apologize for the tardiness this morning, but we got some stuff we're gonna talk about, and I definitely want to have your input. All you have to do is give us a call 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call and let us hear what you're talking about. Now, Leonard,
Sir.
I got something I need to talk to you about, man.
Hmm. Good
You know,
morning, Raheem.
good morning, sir.
And the
How you
morning
doing this
glow
morning?
and the morning glow family.
Yes, sir. Man, listen, man. One of my girlfriends acting up on me, man. I'm a married man, but one of my girlfriends acting up on me.
Mhm.
Janet Jackson.
What she do?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what Janet did. Janet got a documentary coming out. It's gonna be a 2 day documentary. Gonna start tomorrow night. So if everybody get a chance, take a look at it. It's gonna be on, I think, Lifetime and another channel. She's airing dirty laundry, man. She's talking about Michael Jackson, how he used to treat her bad, talk bad to her, call her fat, and all kind of different things, man. And she said she used to laugh with him about it, but underneath it all, it hurt her and it made her feel some kind of way. Lynn, are we supposed to air our dirty laundry, especially after Michael Jackson has gone home to glory? Is that the right thing to do, or should she have even bought that? Because she has enough stuff to talk about. Did she even have to talk about that?
What's so dirty about it? First of all, and it's her brother, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's her story. She can say what she wants to say.
Mm. But to throw dirt on top of dirt, this brother, to me, this
Truth ain't
brother,
dirt.
well, is and watch this. This is to your argument, but it's her
Hmm.
truth. But what about his side of the story? We can never hear that. We can never
Well,
hear his
too
side of the
bad.
story. Mm-hmm.
Too bad. He dead. What he gonna do?
Exactly. That my point
Like I
exactly.
said, the
Why,
truth
why you
is
gonna
the
bring it up?
truth of the matter. She
Mm-hmm.
said, I've heard Janet Jackson say those things before, a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she putting them in the book, that ain't nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's talked about how he used to always tease her and everything like that when they were kids and everything anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's okay for the book, but it's her book. She can write what
No,
she wants.
no. It's a documentary. It's gonna be a movie that's
Oh,
gonna be out
her, yeah.
on. Yeah.
I've heard her say it before. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a big shock. But then again, I didn't worship Michael Jackson either.
Mm-hmm. Now, if she was talking about Prince, might be a different story, huh?
Well, I know Prince probably a lot better. I was more into his music and things like that. But of course, Prince is my favorite performer of all
Mm-hmm.
time. But
Absolutely.
we know he had a lot of freakish ways too.
Mm-hmm.
So they are what they are. The truth is the truth.
So Prince had his little dark side too, huh?
Oh, most definitely. That's what we enjoyed the most about him. He wasn't
Mm.
singing about being a Jehovah Witness.
But he was that, wasn't he?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right. Got this
Tusa.
tone like my brother Leonard this morning. Leonard's gonna be we gonna be cool this morning.
Y'all gonna be cool.
We're not gonna get excited.
Look, don't make no promises for me, Tucson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just getting started. Huh?
There you go,
Exactly.
Tucson. I don't make no promises.
But see, the thing about it, Toussaint,
Well, look, go ahead. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna say it.
do
Go
you
ahead, let it go. Just let you go ahead. Take your show.
do you think Do you think Janet Jackson should have brought that up in this documentary, talking about Michael Jackson? And Leonard says she have said that before, and I think I did hear her say something about that before. But why even add that into the documentary? This man is dead and gone. He can't defend himself. He can't. Maybe sometimes we pick at each other, and I'm sure we all got people in our family that we pick at each other just because they're family. We pick at them. We have fun. Maybe that's what he was doing. Should she have added that to song? What do you?
I don't know what she added.
Well, she said that Michael always picked at her, called her fat and fatty this and fatty that, and all kind of things. And she said she laughed with him about it, but underneath the surface, he never knew that it really hurt her, because she really looked up to Michael, and to have him say something like that to her, it hurt her. She said it hurt her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby. She was a little fat chicken.
Lord Jesus, here we go.
But my gracious, did she grow out of that?
Yes, she did. Did she grow up good? She look.
Ugly ducklings become beautiful swans.
Mm-hmm.
So they ought to get over it at some point. I mean, hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
I have two eyes, and I can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But see,
I'm trying to stay low key like that at this moment.
It ain't gonna work.
And of course, my man said we don't already froze already today. Tucson, I know you on the line, but we encourage others to call in 508-924-3521. I'm pretty sure my man Raheem is gonna get everything straight here in a minute. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of news. I don't know why he wants to talk about these comments about Janet Jackson and her documentary or whatever, but we'll go along with that for a couple minutes. Always been a fan of Janet Jackson.
I think we are back up and running. Captain Leonard, you there? Leonard, are you there? Okay. And what we're talking. Okay, good deal. What we're talking about this morning, we're talking about everybody, the people that's just joined. We got a lot of people that just joined in, so we definitely want to catch you up to speed as to what's going on. We got Tucson back with us as well. We're talking about the Janet Jackson situation. She's actually they did a documentary, a 2-day documentary, and she aired some laundry about what was going on between her and Michael. Whereas he called her names and picked at his little sister, like brothers do, pick at their little sister, but she felt some kind of way. Now, and that's just taking us into this part of the conversation right here. Leonard, is it ever good to air dirty?
Why is your feed speeded up? You need to slow it down a little bit.
What you mean speed it up?
If it only
Oh, is it
like a cartoon character.
Okay, let me reboot.
Plus, I'm getting
a lot of feedback.
Okay, keep it going in when I refresh this thing here.
Ask me something crazy about not saying certain things or what have you. Of course, I support the truth in the matter. Sometimes if your feelings hurt, your feelings is hurt. They belong to you. I don't even know for wearing feelings on the sleeve. Still horrible.
Is that better?
No,
Is
not
that-
at all. The notion that everyone is so wrong for making comments on truthful things, or telling the truth after the fact, or simply that you just don't like to be confronted with things.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make the other person bad. Or saying something wrong. I remember old people used to say, if it's the truth, it does not matter. It's the truth of the matter. I remember asking my grandmother sometimes, she asked, well, how's such and such doing? She ain't all right, they're just fat. That's their problem, they fat. So the truth is what it is. If you sitting there and you 350 pounds and you 5'6", to call you thin would be stupid. You know, so some people just gonna point out certain things. I know, like if you go, some relatives will see you if they ain't seen you, well, what's the matter with your face? Or if they see you frowning, what's the matter with you? Why are you looking so ugly? Why are you making an ugly face? Or why are you doing this? What it is about your countenance is displaying one thing, whereas internally something else may be going on. So people often try to match your countenance with what is really going on. If you know people who don't smile, people say, you know, you look so much better if you smile. Because you would sometimes look better if you smile. So the truth of the matter is just something you're going to have to deal with. It's probably being confronted with the truth that makes you do something or change your behavior in some type of way that may benefit you. I don't fall to the victim side of the game, and just because somebody called you fat, now you got to go feel like you got to go kill yourself. There's something wrong with you. There's something really wrong with you internally. It has nothing to do with what the person said. It's the confrontation that you just had with the truth that has made you uneasy. If you're overweight, it's extremely noticeable. And to pretend like it's not, or to lie about it, is ridiculous to me. To say I'm a tall person would be a lie. Why would you say that? You know, I am a person that has dealt with that for quite some time, but it don't make me less of a person. It don't even really hurt my feelings at all. I mean, I don't understand why there's such a big deal about certain things. If you're unhappy with it, change it. And one of the signs that you may or may not be unhappy with something about yourself is how offended you get when someone points that out. So truth has a tendency to cleanse. Truth has a tendency to make a crooked way straight. And of course, we have various scriptures that allude to what the truth does. There's one thing I believe, saying that the truth shall set you free. Once you know the truth, you act usually in that manner.
Leonard, is that in the better, Leonard?
Yes, much better.
Okay, good deal. And I like what you said, man, when you say if you want to gauge, pretty much if you want to gauge how you feel about something, how you react to it when it's brought up.
Yeah.
That's truthful, man. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's what the truth is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to cleanse and convict.
Exactly.
Excuse me, convict and cleanse.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, though it can be the truth, are we supposed to air our dirty laundry? Are we supposed to let the world know what's going on? Because I grew up in a household where, you know, my mom used to always say, look here, don't go out there talking about what's going on in this house. We're going in this house, you stay in this house. We got some issues, we deal with them in this house. And that's something that I heard a lot in the Black community. And it may not just be in the Black community, but that's where I heard it from.
Well, that's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely different. Somebody's told you not to say something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who sits around and worry about? I don't sit around and worry about what I said 30 years ago to somebody.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing right there. You don't. But if you say if you said something to somebody and it cut in a certain way 30 years ago, man, they could like TD Jakes had his thing where he was talking about why are you holding on to something for 30 years that happened 30 years ago.
No sense.
It doesn't. But we can't tell a person how to feel. Tucson,
like,
what do you say?
Exactly. And you see, that's the thing about it. I was speaking with someone else in the counseling yesterday that had some issues or what have you. It's your choice what you hang on to. It's your choice how you feel. It's your choice. If you want to feel a certain way, if you want to feel negative, feel like you have no value, that's your choice. That's your choice. If you don't like it, change it. Like somebody come on, well, I'm doing something. It makes me feel like killing myself. Maybe you shouldn't do that thing. That's the answer. Don't care if you don't like it. You ain't gonna bleed too long. Trust me. You'll run all out and you'll die.
But see, my thing is this right here. Sometimes though that sounds very simplistic, if you don't like it and the blah blah they change it, that's very simplistic, and to the average person, they may say, yeah, do that. But sometimes it's easier said than done, man. Sometimes a person what's plaguing that person, man, is they can't just get over it like that. Sometimes
I'll say the truth here, whether you pick it up in 10 to 15 minutes or 10 to 15 years, it's your choice.
Tucson, what do you say to that, man? Should we air our dirty laundry?
I better not. Oh no. I mean, I can reflect on some things, and I was thinking about some things that and I'm not saying I'm, like you said, a catch. On the other day, you asked me a question I never did. But what I'm saying is, when I was coming up, I remember the names that I was called coming up. Remember Dumbo the elephant?
Yeah, the big ears.
Because I had big ears. Remember Black Juju?
Yeah.
I was dark. I was dark skinned, developing little boy. For real.
Okay.
My hair would grow so far, and then it start turning back into my head. You know how they say you didn't wrap your head far?
Yeah.
I was that guy. And not saying that I got good hair now, but when you get a certain age, your hair starts getting good.
it get a little gooder.
Yeah, it gets a little gooder. You gotta let things play out. Because remember, and we had this conversation, remember those attractive or ugly, either way, people in school. Oh, but look at them now. It seems like the tables are turned to the ones that were possibly majorettes or on the cheerleading team in high school. They can't cheer. They're not cheering now. They couldn't cut a somersault if they tried.
So basically, you're saying they're the whole cheerleading team in one.
I'm just saying, the daughters look like we had this conversation. The daughters look like mama now. The Coke bottle is now a 2 liter.
Good Lord.
You know I'm right.
I ain't saying that word, brother.
Couldn't put a bikini on, that'd be a shame. But then again, there were some of them that were, almost you would say they had an unpleasantness about themselves when they was coming up. And if you look at them now, you say, boy, I'll be doggone. And so when you talk about Janet Jackson, suppose she was a little chubby, and she was a little chubby little girl.
She was.
If she put that, don't forget that. But how many versus the little child, looking at the little child, we look at Janet Jackson and say, I wish. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying not to say, but I'm saying it at the same time. The tables have turned.
Yeah.
And the majority of, you know, if we had our choice. You know.
Yeah, if we had our choice. If we had our choice. I know where you're going. If we had our choice. Let me go to Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Toya, I gotta ask you a question, man. Janet Jackson, one of my girls, it's one of my girlfriends. I'm a married man, but Janet Jackson, one of my girlfriends. She did something I'm not too pleased with, Toya. She's doing this documentary, and she's airing some dirty laundry about Michael and how Michael used to treat her and talk to her and call her little fat so and all kind of little stuff. And she said she laughed with him during that time. But truth of the matter, the underlying thing, it hurt her. And she's actually talking about that. That's a part of the documentary. Should we air dirty laundry, especially if the person is dead and gone? Should we air that dirty laundry, Toya? Should we just leave it alone? What do you say to that?
Didn't happen to me. So it's my dirty laundry that I get to air. What is wrong with people? How you think you're going to do something to me to make me feel bad? And then when I say something about you, what you did to me, you want to get offended about my laundry that I'm airing. If you don't want to air yours, don't air yours. But, you know, we do the same thing with molestation. We stay quiet for years and years and years and years and years because nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to bring it up. But then when you bring it up and you go, oh, they dead, oh, they dead. Wait a minute. What happened to the person that was abused? That was felt some kind of way. So if you don't air yours, then that's on you. But mind your doggone, you can make me cuss. Thank you, Lord. Mind your doggone business when it comes to me telling mine.
Okay.
Because some things not supposed to stay in. She's simply expressed. And you know what? We do this all the time. Families and friends. You know, they used to call me ugly all the time when I was younger. I don't think I even fooled with a mirror till I was about 20-something. Till I started dressing like a girl. But you know, that's what we do in families. We talk down to each other. We are negative to each other. And we don't understand it's abuse until we get caught that was abuse. So now we're gonna go talking. So now let me ask you this. How would you feel if your daughter came to you and said that her grandma called her ugly her whole life, thought that she was gonna be fat? She wasn't gonna do nothing, and then why you didn't say anything? Well, Dad, I didn't want to air the grandma's dirty laundry. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, this is a two-way street. And if you don't want nobody to say nothing about what you did or what you said, don't do it or say it to me, because you got an opportunity for another individual to let out your dirty laundry. But whose dirty laundry is it? It wasn't Michael's. That was Janet's issues that drove her to whatever, you know, be the best or maybe not eat as much or whatever, because I'm quite sure that her brother Michael Jackson had a very huge impression on her. So she's telling her life story, what she went through. It's not airing nobody's dirty laundry. Just because Michael dead, I bet you them feelings ain't gone. Because if they was, she wouldn't be talking about it. And you know, sometimes we understand we were young. But the fact of the matter is, it still hurt, and I'm going to let it out. So it is what it is. I'm with Janet and with anybody else who's been through something, who kept things a secret, who decides to come out and talk about some of the tormentful things that was done to them in their lifetime.
So you think it sounds as though you're saying that it's a release, is some form of release for her to even talk about it during this time, regardless of the fact that he's gone home to glory. It's just a healing process for her.
I would have did it while he was alive. I wouldn't wait till he was dead. See, I'm a person. I'm gonna catch you now. I'm gonna go on and bust your bubble now and still love you in your face. I'm not gonna let you be dead. I didn't wait till the men died to confront them about putting their hands on me. No, I ain't want nobody else to go over there and do nothing to it. Somebody gonna be doing some butt whooping. It's gonna be me. But I'm over that right there. Let me just go on and let them know. And if anybody asks me, I said then too. And I've been called, oh, you a liar, you a this, your mama a liar. Say what you want, feel what you want. But I said what I said and I did what I did. I would have never waited till he was dead. I would have went on and busted him out while he was here. I wouldn't care if he was Michael Hoover.
Michael Hoover. Monique, good morning. Monique, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
What
Doing just fine.
Good deal. And Cassandra, coming to you next. I want to know, what do you feel about airing dirty laundry? You know, are we supposed to air our dirty laundry in the public like this?
I think something probably needs to be, kept, with the family. But based on what Janet Jackson is doing, I mean, I don't see anything, I don't see that as dirty laundry. I just see it as, she's just talking about her experiences when she was growing up, because, even Michael did, because he said that his brothers always teased him about his nose. So, I mean, as far as what she's doing, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think there's a time and place for everything. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
Now, would I per se do something like that? I probably wouldn't do that.
Why not?
But yeah, that's pretty much.
Why?
Why?
Why wouldn't you do it?
Because sometimes, even though you're speaking your truth, sometimes it can yield judgment on yourself. Like right now, Janet is telling something that happened, and like there was the person was saying before, well, why she waited till he died? I mean, that's where the judgment, because here I'm speaking my truth right now, and then all of a sudden I'm getting all this backlash, about me speaking my truth. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it, especially if it was something where that person has, died, or did you ever tell the person, why didn't you do that? Then it opens up a lot of doors for, the finger to be pointed back at you, and you just being vulnerable, at that moment.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, I need to hear your heart. And thank you for joining us. Should we air our dirty laundry?
Yep. Yeah. We hide too much horrible things that have happened to people, and we're trying to protect somebody with, Toya, I almost cussed. Okay. We're trying to protect people that did damage. I mean, lifelong damage to people, and you want to keep it in the hell no.
Hey.
No. I said hell. It's in the Bible. Hell no.
You didn't mean it like it's in the Bible.
I mean, what is that? You always protecting. Why do we protect the victim sometimes? And sometimes you can't tell your stories until after the person dead, out of fear and a whole bunch of other stuff. Because I know I didn't. I have 2 books that I'm writing right now. Finally, the people that hurt me are dead, and for my family, I kept quiet. And it's just not fair. So yeah, no, tell it. I don't care. Tell it. That's right.
Wow. Toussaint, what do you say to that, man? Tell it till you tell it good. What do you say to that? Toussaint?
Well, yeah, if it's hurtful, sometimes there's a way of healing. Now, let me say something, because I thought about something. There might be a form of grieving. Because Michael's, they would, I don't know if they were tight-knit family, but, they were the Jackson 5 and family.
Yeah, exactly.
And according to some of the reports, of some of the family there, they had some issues
Yes, sir.
in their fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember when the story came out about how mean, how, I can't say mean, how
Abusive.
much
Abuse.
emphasis was put on by the dad to
Mm-hmm.
make them who they were.
Oh, Joe. Yeah. They said Joe was rough on him.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he was rough on them. So, you know, that was put out, and you know what? And Raheem, I'm gonna have to get on the other side of your coin.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be dirty laundry, just life
Mm-hmm.
that they lived.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we see it as dirty laundry, but hey, it's family.
Mm-hmm.
There was some things that my brothers, and we would do when we were coming out. We would pick at each other, and we would do some things, and it was just family, just family. We did some things to each other. We fuss and fight and cut up. And now that we're grown, we can sit at the table and we talk about it and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And some people that were on the outside may look at it and say, "Oh my God!" I remember when I'm going to speed up. I'm going to speed up my conversation so my time is running out. I remember when we was all sitting at the table, we was watching the game, and my dad was still alive, and my nephew he came to stay with us, and we was all sitting and talking, and my dad broke out and he said, "Yeah," and he mentioned my nephew's name. He said, and he sold drugs. He was selling drugs to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And my nephew said, "Granddaddy, you knew about that?" He said, "Boy, you think I'm stupid."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a way of airing out his laundry. It was a way of having a conversation in the family to let him know that I know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna switch up a little bit. Leonard, I'm coming to you here. If you're dealing with somebody, Leonard, and yourself personally as well, how much truth do you want to deal with? If you ask a person a question or something, or they ask you a question, can you always give them the absolute 100% uncut truth, or do you sometimes want to spare their feelings, knowing they can't, like they say in the movie, they can't handle the truth?
I prefer the truth. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not into sparing a person's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my thing. I tell
What
the
if
truth regardless.
what if you feel as though you look at the person and they ask you a question and you look at them and you say, man, this joker ain't gonna be able to deal with it. He in a vulnerable situation right now. He ain't gonna be able to deal with the whole truth. So do you water it down just a little bit to spare the feelings, or you just don't say nothing?
Mm-mm. I'll tell you exactly what I want to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
How you react is your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So basically, what I'm hearing you say is, don't ask if you don't want to know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't play games with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sad that people would look to you and lie in your face and then
Mm-hmm.
expect for you to go along with it. The moment you start being dishonest with me, the moment I start having a problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I just don't care. I don't, because those types of people are two-faced.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say
Absolutely.
anything to get along or what have you. Telling the truth is you. I mean, you don't sit there and just be running your mouth. It needs to be appropriate and according to what's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
So
just don't sit around just blurting out things into space.
mm-hmm. So those people are like chameleons. They'll adapt anywhere they go to, and they'll just adjust to fit. And there's no real truth in them, because if they go over here dealing with this group, they're that. Then they go over there dealing with this group, they're that, which could be totally opposite.
You know,
There's no truth.
there's a lot of things that are true,
Mm-hmm.
but they may not be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about what is relevant, you should always be truthful in that. You don't have to tell somebody everything you know. That don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them what you want them to know, and that should be the truth.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Unless you're a liar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand what the But the big deal about something is if somebody has a decency to ask you something, either you tell them the truth or you say no comment.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're not gonna dictate to me how I should say this, that, or the other. I'm hoping that one, if you're that type of person, that conversation that we have will let you know we ain't the type of people that's gonna get along.
Toya with a T, what do you say to that? Do you tell them the whole unadulterated truth, or do you kind of water it down a little bit? Because you know this person's in a situation in their life, they can't deal with that whole truth. They can't deal with that. Toya, what do you do? Toya, you there? Cassandra, let's go to you. What do you say to that, Cassandra? Do you tell her the whole truth, or do you kind of water it down just a little bit? Cassandra, can you hear me? Might be having some problems with that phone line there. Toussaint, are you there?
Well, it's definitely a problem with the phone line because I don't hear nobody on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, they're still there. Toussaint, are you there? Can you hear me? That's weird. I have to shut the phone line down. We have some technical. I heard something.
I'm on, Raheem. I was multitasking.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, so the phones are good. Okay. Yeah. Toussaint, do you tell?
It's not your phone.
Okay. Do you tell the whole truth, Toussaint, or do you kind of water it down a little bit because you know this person cannot, for whatever reason, cannot handle the whole truth? Not right now. What do you do, Toussaint? They ask you the question now.
Now, that depends on the person you ask the question, because there are some among us that if you don't want the answer, don't ask. I think that the most of us that's on the line. Don't ask, if you don't want the answer, don't ask Cassandra, don't ask Toya, don't ask Leonard, don't ask me. Don't ask. You don't want, if you don't want to know, the best thing you do is leave that alone, because you're gonna get the truth. You may not like it. Now, depends on the person that asks. We may have to be gentle in our presentation of the truth, but you're gonna get it.
Isn't that still watering it down though?
No. It's called kindness and mercy. Because some people, you have to be kind of delicate with them. Because some people, you tell them the unadulterated truth, which it is. You have to be. Let me use this for example. And here's the unadulterated truth. There was a woman that was caught with it in the very act. They said. And here's the truth of the matter. Jesus is there dealing with the situation. But then those accusers, he didn't even respond to them. And when he did respond to them, he says, "You without sin, cast the first stone." Now, did he water it down? I'm just saying. They should have never come to him with. They realized that they should have never come to him with that, because he made them look at themselves. I'm just saying.
Okay.
There's a way to do stuff. I mean, here's a woman that was at the well. He said, look, now he wanted to get the truth out of her and then cause her to be better at the same time, because she had a jacked up life, some would say. And she felt bad about herself. He starts off the conversation and says, "Give me some water." And then he said, "Go get your husband." That's a way to open up the conversation. He said, "Hey, I ain't got to know that. I don't have no husband." He said, "You right, you had 5. Now you sleeping with somebody."
Come on.
Did he say it like that? Did he say, "Now you're sleeping with somebody"? No, he said, "The one that you got ain't yours."
Say it.
He said, "You must be a prophet."
Wow. Okay. That's good. That's good. Let me. I heard told you with a T in the background. Told you what's on your heart, man. Do you water it down a little bit, or do you tell him that?
Yes, he did say that. He just come out and call her a whore. He didn't just do that.
He didn't come up with a fancy name for it. None of that.
Listen, I'm gonna give you another one. Right? Young man at work. Funky is all outdoors. Ain't nobody saying nothing to this man. Listen, I'm not gonna let you walk around booger hanging out your nose, cold in your eyes, smelling funky. Toya, how do you say that? What you mean, how do you say that? What you mean? All right, so hey, sweetheart, come here, let's talk to you for a second. Ooh, you look so handsome today, boy. Baby, I smell you. And everybody else smell you too, boo. What we gonna do? You can't do that, baby. You have to get out the house, take a shower, put the deodorant on, some baking soda. What you need, baby? Because I can't have you walking around folks smelling you. And I know that ain't nobody came to you and told you this to your face, baby. But I'm not gonna do you like that. I'm gonna need you to do something about that smell, my love.
You said it so nicely. You said it so nice.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not about airing dirty laundry. He really need to air his whole body. Forget the laundry. You need to jump out the window. Wait, man. But
God almighty.
Certain situations, if you get me mad, I'm like, okay, now with your funky behind now. Okay, that's different. That's different than trying to take on some kick love.
Yeah.
Let's just use the real bomb example, right? Imagine me at 9 years old going to tell my father, Daddy, I need to tell you something. What? Yo, brother touched me right there. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes with those situations in black households, that's what we do. No, don't tell nobody that. Oh, your daddy the preacher. Oh, your daddy the president. Oh, no, don't tell nobody. We need to go get you some help. And I talk to these kids at my job, and they talk about how some of their parents used to beat them until they bleed. We didn't teach them the fundamentals of eating vegetables. And we're having conversations at work, and I don't think some of these kids even let it out. But these parents hate their kids. I mean, these kids hate their parents.
Yeah.
Because they got the beating part down pat. But like I talked to them at work, I'm like, listen, I done already told you one time. I done told you twice. The third time, we gonna fall out. Oh, Miss Toya, I wish you had kids. You would be a great mom. Yeah, because you get 3 times. I'm gonna talk to you twice, and the third time, I'm just gonna knock your behind out. Because at 21, I'm just gonna run you over with a car. But this is what we do, and it's like they cling to me for simple common sense. They got the beaten part down pat. So are we saying that they're airing the dirty laundry of their parents? No, these kids don't know nothing else. And when I see them talking and teaching, they asking questions now. Like, really? My mom didn't teach me that. What? What you mean your mom ain't teach you that? Yeah. And then here we go have a conversation about just the way of life for them. And I'm telling them, baby, I apologize because I came from the era right before you. That is slick abuse, my love. I'm sorry. And we missed the mark on some of these things. We're not supposed to beat you till you bleed, my love.
No.
You pick up a knife, you try to kill her in her sleep. Nope. Now, them grounds to get beat to the blood.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
But so many of these children got simple, dirty laundry, if that's what we want to call it, that they now think is a way of life. And if they don't tell nobody, how are they going to know that it's wrong? How are they going to know that it's wrong for their father to come in there and have sex with them if they don't never open up their mouth and tell nobody?
Yeah.
And for somebody to come in and say, oh, no, baby, that's not supposed to be like that.
No, that's not normal.
Like, come on, it's a joke. And my thing is, I think when some people, right, when some people feel the need to keep anything a secret, I mean, I'm not some play stuff like, we're going to have a surprise party or we're gonna chip in and buy somebody a car. No, I'm talking about something little bad, little wicked stuff that you feel don't need to get out, I feel like it's one or two things. Either you're the person that's doing it, or you never had nothing done to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes to doing bad things, when you've been touched, when you've been abused, when you've been hurt, when you've been assaulted by people who claim they love you, parents, when people stick you in closets and feed you applesauce through a straw, trust me, it's hard to get over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, sometimes when you haven't come from that situation, don't make up stuff. Don't do, you just get over it. If you've never been through something so traumatic, tell a vet that just came from the war, just get over it. That was Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Just get over it when you're over here. This is not Afghanistan. You don't have to jump when firecrackers pop. But what? He swore to an oath too. Some things they can't say and they can't tell us over here. But you just gonna tell them to get over it?
Mm-hmm.
No, we can't do that, man. We gotta listen with sympathy, especially if we haven't been through some of those things. Tell it and tell it all.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Should we air our dirty laundry? And if we're going to air our dirty laundry, should we tell the whole unadulterated truth? When somebody come to you and ask you a question, and not necessarily along these lines, but if they ask you a question, how much would you pad the answer if you feel as though they can't handle the whole truth? If you feel as though they can't handle they're in a vulnerable situation right now, would you tell them the whole unadulterated truth, or would you water it down just a little bit? Tell them the truth, but water it down just a little bit. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Rico, come to you next. Cassandra, you there? Okay, go ahead, Rico. We'll come back to Cassandra.
First off, let me say welcome to and congratulations to everybody on receiving a new day of life.
Yes, sir.
You would obviously have to discern based on who that person is, because everybody's not going to respond the same. I've been in situations where I've told somebody something, maybe that they smell, like Toya said, or maybe they had something hanging out their nose, and that embarrassment and shame will make them do something odd. They'll get mad at you because they don't know how to respond to the embarrassment. They're that embarrassed that they get confused. So they take it out on the first person they see. Act funny towards you. Or maybe they can't look you in the face later on because you was the one that saw it, not realizing everybody else saw it too. Didn't say nothing to you, and them the ones laughing. I'm the one that couldn't laugh at you. I had to come back and tell you, hey, man, I was smelling something a little earlier, man. I think it's coming from you, man. You might need to go change your socks or something.
Yeah.
You need some help. You know, but you do have to be very mindful of how you deliver it. First off, put yourself in that person's shoes. What if you had to come tell somebody that was sort of, I ain't gonna even say mentally unstable, but very infatuated or in love with their spouse, or they were the different type of parent. You could tell they really adored their child, but you had to come back and tell them, we just found your child behind the church, dead. She been looking for him. He been looking for the child. We don't know where the child is. She's supposed to be here or there. He's supposed to be here or there. Well, we hoping for the best. Now here come the policemen, first 48. They got to deliver the news. I wish you would be brutally honest. See, the truth hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt. You know, it showed yesterday and the day before. The truth hurts. Then after a few conversations and people call you and talk to you, you know what I'm saying, they have to start getting to the reality of things, that some things that we don't want to admit is just true. Sometimes we don't want to admit that the FBI and the CIA conspired to kill their own president, or to kill Martin Luther King Jr., or any other human being. Some people are in denial that we exist in this type of environment, in this world where you have governments that will assassinate people that is against what they are trying to accomplish, their agenda. That truth hurts. So, you know, we really have to be very mindful of how we deliver the truth, because you can offend some people, or sometimes the truth is so embarrassing and shameful to some people that they rear out at you. I've seen people get mad when you came back to tell them, they, such and such been cheating on you, man. That baby ain't yours. She pregnant with this other man. They out of town right now. And then they react to the person that told them. I watched this before and be like, man, what?
Yeah.
He just came and gave you a heads up, and now you and your boys about to whoop him. Meantime, she got somebody standing up in her right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to be mindful and observant of how that person is, who the audience is that you're revealing the truth to, because the truth can be so painful sometimes that people will get a little confused and they'll act out of order. Sometimes people will hear the truth and call you a lie.
Yes, sir.
And then go right back after accusing you of lying and lie themselves in the same sentence to make you wrong or to make themselves right. That's how bad the truth hurts, because some people like to be right all the time. Imagine that. Somebody like to be right all the time. They don't like to be wrong. They don't like to accept when they are wrong. Man, you'll be fighting all day until the sky's blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so you have to be mindful of the person that you're delivering the truth to, because everybody's different. Like I said, put yourself in other people's shoes. Think about how you would want to be treated, or how you would want to receive such information. Because some information ain't nothing that you can just come and blurt out. Your baby dead. She ain't coming home.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Suck it up. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. The truth is what it is, and that's all it is. And I said it. Your baby dead. She ain't coming home. She was kidnapped out the hospital. Somebody went in and raped her, and break down how they raped her. They did this and that too. They did that and that too. I got to tell you the truth. I can't hold it from you. It hurt. No, you still have to be mindful of how you deliver that truth, regardless of if it hurts or not.
Yeah, exactly. Monique, what's on your heart, sis? Monique, you there? Okay, let's keep it going. Monique may have some issues with the phone line there. Oh, there you go. What's on your heart, Monique?
I think that I had a situation at work where I had this coworker where she would throw me under the bus every chance she got. And she would do it in front of a big boss, versus just a little regular boss. And then it was one day, she did something, and me and this coworker, we worked together for at least 10 years. And she would always tell me how she felt about me, what I was doing wrong, and she would always speak her truth, but I always held back on my truth about her. And it hurt my work, because I was in charge of something, and because she wasn't doing any work, when I was approached, about something, whether or not she was doing something, I would be like, I would beat around the bush with it. Then one day, I decided to say, okay, let me let this girl, know what she's doing. And the day that I finally decided to tell her, what she's doing wrong, next thing you know, she's going to my boss saying I'm bullying her. That I done ganged up on her. And so what I realized, for myself, before I've had people that ask me, what do you think? They ask me. And what I had to do is I had to gauge who they are as a person, because I spoke, the truth. And I've always been careful on how I talk to somebody, because I kind of looked at it like if I was, asking somebody how I would want it to be, told to me. And what I found that even for some people, regardless of how nice you put it, they still, kind of like what Rico was saying, they will still, lash out at, out at you. And I'm thinking, you asked me. You asked me the question, and I was nice about it. So I tread light, when somebody, asks me about asking me the truth. But for me, I'm okay. If I ask you, I'm looking for it. I brace myself.
Yeah.
But for the most part, as far as me giving somebody the truth, I give it, but it is watered down to the lowest level. Especially depends on who it is.
Exactly. What I used to do a lot of times, somebody come and ask me something. I before I answer, I ask them this question. I said, look here, now you're asking me this, especially if I know it's going to be real sensitive or it might be hurtful or something to them. I said, look, do you want to know the truth? Do you want me to tell you the truth? Or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? Because if you want me to tell you what you want to hear, I'm not the person that you might not want to ask me. I say, now you sure you want to ask me that question? And if they say, yeah, answer the question, all bets off. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is right here. And now you have to deal with it accordingly. Because you asked me, I gave you an opportunity. I gave you an opportunity to pull it back. You chose not to pull it back. Now I answer the question. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Sorry I missed so much this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking about the truth and
oh man,
Aaron Laundry and different things like that. Or somebody come to you right where we are right now. If somebody come to you and ask you for the truth, ask you about something, and you know that the truth could be hurtful to them, the absolute truth could be hurtful. Do you water it down a little bit, or do you just tell the whole unadulterated truth, regardless of how they feel about it? What do you do?
Well, if they're that pushy about it, I just go, "Are you sure?" And if they say yeah, they get the full version. So,
wow.
I mean, if they want to make the choice to come to me, and especially if they know me, I just, "Are you sure?" All right, you asked for it. And at that point, it's not my responsibility because I'm just doing what was asked of me.
Okay, that's good. That's
because,
good.
Like, me and Rico was talking yesterday on the phone, after the show, and it's wild because I had people come to me asking me the truth about about some of the things that was being said on the show, because they were wondering if some people on the show was racist. And I'm going,
we got a lot of noise coming from somebody's line. Got a lot of noise coming from somebody's line. I don't know where it's coming from, but y'all mute your line or something like that so we don't have that noise. Because
morning, really, Friday.
Go ahead.
And I was like, why? And they're like, well, they're saying white supremacists, and they're saying this and that about the white race and that. I'm like, you do realize that that's targeting the people in power that actually are hateful human beings, right? Wait, there's a difference? Oh, here we go. So, like, to me, like, the question you're asking also is for the other people that are listening. Don't automatically assume someone is a way. Ask them first.
Yeah.
And be ready. Because they might be and they might not. But acknowledge the fact you're approaching someone to ask them the truth from their perspective, or the truth of, because you know they have knowledge on said topic that you're asking them about. If you're brave enough, in quotation marks, to ask them to be straight up honest, have enough willpower to be able to take it.
Exactly. Yep. Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? Hey, ladies.
Hey, doing good. Curtis, what do you do in that situation, man? Do you tell the whole totally unadulterated truth, man, or do you water it down just a little bit because you know this person is very vulnerable right now and they can't handle that whole truth?
If they can't handle the whole truth, and I'm real tight with them, like I'm their friend,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell them the truth, but I'm gonna prepare them for the truth before I even tell it to them.
And how do you do that?
You understand? You lay it all out. You you paint that picture
Mm-hmm.
prior to saying it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you use any kind of metaphor you can, any kind of comparison you can. So you basically define the truth you're going to say prior to saying the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So that by the time you say the truth, you can say, now, do you understand what I'm saying? You see why I went there?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I've understood from doing clinical work and just being a human being, man, is the reality is the only person that's hurt by the truth is the person that's been living a lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the only person hurt by the truth, because realistically, if you came to me and you said to me, for example, Kurt, you smoke too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad at that. Like, if I came down with, and God forbid, I chance and I called him, Raheem, little man, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. And you say, well, Kurt, first and foremost, smoke too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let them, come on, baby, we gotta let things go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't get mad and say, well, Raheem is empathetic to my situation and blah. Oh, Raheem told me the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So realistically, in my mind, and I could be wrong, the only person that's hurt is living a lie.
Exactly. Exactly. Friday, what's on your heart, sis? What do you do in that situation, man? How do you deliver this truth? Do you water it down? Do you just put it on the thing raw? How do you handle that truth? How do you deliver it? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hi, Der. I'm doing all right. This is a I don't know, we're gonna make it to the next topic with this one because this is good.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the person that is
Mm-hmm.
asking you this, not just know them because in passing, but you have a relationship established with them, you'll know how to deliver it. And you should at best deliver it with love as best as possible to their personality, right? Some people, regardless of how candor and meek you try to put it, they don't, especially if it starts sounding like you're saying the truth that doesn't agree with what they've already decided, don't want to hear it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to receive it regardless, and they'll find fault and offense in the fact that you've even told them that or attempted to. Sometimes they'll cut you off before you have a chance to fully explain it. Even when you're trying to take the approach, which is the roundabout way sometimes, or the parable way sometimes, or you give them an example so they can kind of understand how their perspective of it may have led them to believe that they operated in truth, which could be to their own reality, but not necessarily fair to the entire situation. So when they're asking, tell me the truth, okay, do you want me to agree with how you arrived on why you did what you did or doing what you're doing, or do you want the truth from the standpoint that if you're spitting venom, you're going to be hurting people, right? So then, oh, well, if I don't do it, and so the excuses come. But at the end of the day, you should, if you know the person, you should try to tailor it and still be authentic and candor as possible, but to the personality of them so that they can receive it. But depending on where they are, it doesn't matter. They may not. But as far as what my responsibility is in communicating that to them, I try to tell them the truth in a way which I think they can receive it the best.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's real good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. How do you deliver this truth?
Well, one, if it becomes easier as you practice it. I'm very straightforward, very straight faced. I don't act emotionally about things. I give you information. What you do with that information is up to you. Period. Some of y'all, I'm listening to you talk or what have you. I don't be doing all that. I'm not gonna do too much. Here it is. I've had people give me information that they thought would make me upset and things of nature, and all I've said to them was, "Thank you for the information," and I use that information appropriately. So this notion of how you tell people the truth or what have you, like with my children never believed in Santa Claus or anything of that nature. So it's not that you should temper the truth at all. The truth should be appropriate. Why would you, like, say, for instance, we're having a conversation about one thing. Why would you start talking about something else? That type of thing. Stay in the conversation. If I come to even in the issue of death, I regret to inform you that such and such, blah blah blah. That's it. How you behave and react is your business. Here's the information. You deal with it. Because when I'm hearing you all talk, you're like, one, I'm not doing that much in life. I'm just not. Because to me, what you all are saying is a bit much. It's too much for me. I'm not going through all that with you. I mean, I can't even. You're a liability to me at that point. You can't be that close to me. Because I can't depend on you to handle business appropriately. I can appreciate. I can't invest confidence that you will do what is necessary that needs to be done. Like, say, for instance, when you're teaching this, that, and the other, or what have you, or even in military settings or what have you, and you're trying to teach people something. You got, even on a job in corporate America. Oh, I got to understand it first. Go to the back of the line. Next. And ask you to come up here and understand nothing. Follow directions and you'll be able to do it. You'll understand it by and by. But right now, I need you to follow directions.
Did you say by and by, brother?
Yes.
Okay.
But now I need you to follow directions. Because we can accomplish what needs to be accomplished if you follow directions. Understand it on your time. If you got, well, I can't get it in. Okay. You can sit here 3 and 4 semesters if you would like. But if you study and you come and take the test, because it's going to be over Friday. Now, you cannot understand it or feel a certain way about it, but you're going to fail if you don't come in here and perform Friday. That's the truth of the matter. I don't have time to hold your hand or anything of that nature. Go to the back of the line.
Let me say this to you. I have 4 daughters. I have four daughters, and I love my daughters dearly. But each one of them have their own personality. I can't pull all 4 of them in the room at the same time and say, this is what it is, and have a cookie cutter thing that I'm thinking that's going to be for all. Because Mary, y'all all know Mary gonna speak her mind. She's gonna listen, she's gonna evaluate, and then she's gonna speak her mind. My oldest daughter, she's gonna sit there, she's gonna study it. She's gonna study it, and she's gonna learn everything she need to learn about it. And then each one of them have their own personality. And so if I take this piece of paper right here and I say, listen, this is what it is, bam, boom, go. It's gonna take it's gonna be different for each one of them. So I would have to, in knowing my daughters the way I know my daughters, I would have to take each one of them individually and say, baby, this is what it is, and cater. Okay, this is what you're strong. So this is what it is with you. Okay, I go to Mary. You're gonna evaluate it. You're gonna sit there. You're gonna think this is what it is, and I will have to cater each one of them a certain way because of each personality is different. Each individual is different. The cookie cutter thing, I don't think it may work for some people.
Like I said, that is a style that you have. But my thing is, if formation is at 7 o'clock, you be in formation at 7 o'clock. It's not about how you deliver the information. You're talking about somebody's learning style and their personality and this, that. But you know what? My rules don't change according to how you feel. My morals don't change because of how you feel.
Yeah, I can go there. I can go there.
You know, because usually I'm not appealing to someone. Like, say, for instance, if you're trying to teach someone to do something, that is the objective. If they don't meet, they don't meet.
Yeah.
If they, for some reason, you know how some of you break down this, that, and the other. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, let's do it this way. Well, you know, I don't like it this way. Go to the back of the line.
Figure it out. I got you. Let me okay, people sending me messages and all kind of things.
But are we talking about giving instructions to accomplish a task or telling a truth on situation? Because I feel like there's kind of like two different things. Like if I'm giving instructions to execute a task, I'm telling you rightfully and out of authority, but that, to me, that's not the same in sense of me telling you the truth on I don't know, your hair's not combed, your breasts stink, you know, you got, you know what I'm saying, like that, like you can do it. Not Cat Williams, what was the comedian, Kevin Hartway, can I tell the teacher to my mama said you do big head da. So, you know, are we doing it that way because we had the opportunity to tell the truth about a situation, or are we giving instructions for a task that needs to be completed? I think those are two different arenas with expectation of how to follow. So absolutely, if I'm saying roll calls at such and such time, that is the truth. You do need to be there. But that's not necessarily the same to me as I'm telling you the truth about something because I need you to do something about it, or make you aware of the fact that if you continue in this area, it could be really good or really detrimental to you.
Rico?
I agree with her wholeheartedly. See, the thing is you may be in a position where you have to tell someone, like I said earlier, that they lost a loved one. Imagine telling a 90-year-old person that their 92-year-old spouse just passed away. You got to deliver that a certain way because there might be a reaction that you didn't want. You don't want to be responsible for this person just having a heart attack and dying. You got to deliver that sort of gently. Imagine a woman having a problem with men, and then all of a sudden she get with a man and she think everything is going perfect, and then she lose another man. You know why she keep losing these men, but she don't know why. You don't want to tell her you obese, you're not cute. But the brutal honest truth is, regardless of her feelings, she ain't cute. That woman on Saturday Night Live said that she can't get a man. How many people actually told her you're not an attractive woman? You're tall. That's awkward. You're too loud. Not too many people told her that. That would be brutally honest. See, this is the thing. Not only can they react to you, but suicides are up for some reason lately. Imagine your brutal truth.
I'm glad you said it, Rico.
How they feel about it is responsible for them killing themselves. I can imagine who could sleep very well that night. I wouldn't be able to. I couldn't imagine coming to this fat, ugly, huge 500-pound, 200-pound, or maybe just 120, 180-pound woman or man and telling them, you know what? She said she don't want you because you ain't packing enough. You too big, whatever reasons. And then all of a sudden, this is a reason, this is a thing that you've been fighting your whole life. You've been wondering, are you attractive enough? Can you fit in? And are you going to ever have a man or a woman in your life? Am I ever going to get married and have children? We see people, man. Everybody don't fit in. You know, we see people that everybody bread ain't done the same up here.
Yeah.
Some people are codependent. They are infatuated. They are clingy,
Mm-hmm.
and they love hard. They love their children. They love their spouses, or they just want to be loved. And you letting them know it's gonna be hard for them to find love because they ain't the cutest person.
Yeah.
They wasn't even the cutest baby, and it's hard to find an ugly baby. And you got to live your life. You got to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
And now here it is, somebody telling you, you know what? You just got to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to accept somebody that look like you. Find somebody that you think ugly, and y'all might be a good match. And this thing, you know, the next morning, you read about it in the paper. Oh, I didn't know they were suicidal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I got to be inconsiderate and just tell you the truth because the truth is brutal and it's honest. Yeah, the truth hurts. The truth is painful. But we are human beings, and human beings are emotionally in different places at different times, and they carry themselves different ways. So you have to do like Friday said, and like I said earlier, be mindful of who the person is and what the truth is, and find out how to maneuver, how to deliver that truth to them without you getting that response that you know may come, will come, could possibly come. Because you don't know if they're going to kill themselves. You don't know if somebody's going to kick over and die of a heart attack because they just found out that their child was dead or got found, was missing and got killed. You got to find out how to break that to them. Your child just got killed in a car accident. I got two brothers that lost girlfriends when they were teenagers. I never experienced that. I've experienced losing people that I've had relations with, but these were their girlfriends in high school. They had to deal with losing a death. Very young, somebody that they one-on-one relationships with. Yeah. And somebody had to find a way to break that news to them. They couldn't call. They couldn't call one of my brothers and say, "Well, she was cheating on you, and she was going over here with a dude driving in a car just like the one you had, and she went airborne and hit a tree and went through the windshield." That was a lot of information to get a lot of truth. She was cheating with another dude with a car just like his, acting a fool in that car because she thought his car was the souped-up version like my brother had. Went in the air, hit a tree, killed herself. How we gonna break this to my brother?
Exactly.
That was just the first truth. How was her mother gonna break it to my brother or anybody? Okay, now not only is he dealing with his girlfriend dying, but he got to deal with the fact that she was cheating while she was doing it.
Wow.
Didn't nobody know how my brother was gonna respond. So you gotta sort of, maneuver and I ain't gonna say water it down, but just structure it properly so it can be received the way that is least dangerous or harmful.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to the phone line. Sherelle, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Asking a question. Somebody come to you, a friend of yours come to you. Now, this is a friend, come to you and they ask you something, and you know your friend. You know they can't, certain things they can't deal with. The truth, it will really hurt them, and you know to hurt them. The absolute truth to hurt them. Do you water it down, or do you just tell them the absolute unadulterated truth? How do you handle that, Sherelle?
Me being me, I don't water anything down. So, and all my friends know that. So, I would give it to them straightforward. I don't water a thing down. I mean, sometimes the truth hurts. That's just fact. But I would have to verify if it is the truth, and before I go spread any type of information, But I'm not one who waters anything down. So I would give it to them straight.
Okay.
That's how I would handle it. I mean, it's no right way to tell the truth. I mean, the truth is the truth.
Now, what if your truth, and there was a situation that Rico just said, what if your truth led that person to suicide? The next thing you heard about that person, they was hanging, swinging from the bottom of a rope, and you had to think, man, maybe I shouldn't have. Would you second guess yourself? Well, how would you feel about that, knowing that maybe your truth is what led them to jump over the edge?
I would be sad that they did something like that, but I would be still okay that I gave them the truth, if that makes sense. Because once you choose suicide, that's an emotional thing that's personal that you have to deal with. So you have to deal with that. But would I be sad about it? Yes. I was extremely heartbroken that somebody would kill themselves over hearing the truth. But you never know. It all depends on, and it's the delivery. It's not always what was said. It's the delivery on how it was said sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be what was said. Because if I, like, for example, you might be dating somebody, but you find out that their guy is sleeping with other dudes. No woman wants to hear that, right? So that's now you're messing with somebody's mental. And then certain things you kind of know. If you know your friend like you say you do, you know what they can take, and you know where you need to involve yourself with. So if somebody's telling me something about my friend, and I didn't confirm whether it's true or not, I'm not going to go out and tell my friend that. You need to go tell my friend this. You know this. I don't know this. You know what I'm saying? I'm real careful with my friends. So I'm very protective of my friends and myself. So it all depends on that situation. But all my friends know I'm very straightforward with them. Like I don't sugarcoat anything.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
At all.
Let me go to we got another caller. K with the E. K with the E. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, I want to know how you're gonna handle this. We got something going on. Somebody got a beeping sound going on. Mute your line, whoever that is. Mute your line for me. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, how would you handle that situation, man? Would you tell them the unadulterated, straight up truth, straight up no chaser, or if you know the person is a little bit sensitive, may not be able to handle the absolute truth? Would you water it down just a little bit? Would you soften the blow, or how would you handle that situation? This your friend now.
Well, like I agree with what she said. I know my friends. My friends know me, and if I know she's real sensitive, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna be like, look, you know your little tail is sensitive, so go on and pray and get your heart together, because I'm about to tell you what it is. And all my friends know me. And they'll tell you, Kay's gonna tell it like it is, and I'm gonna tell you. If I know you sensitive, I'm gonna tell you to pray about it and get your heart right, because you need to hear this. And I don't want you to go off feeling all bad, because the truth is the truth. And when you hear the truth, you have an opportunity to change. You have an opportunity to change, and then I'll give them the truth. But that's my watering it down right there. I'm gonna soften it for you. I'm gonna let you know. I know you soft. So let me give you a little fair warning, because it's going to be hard, and you need to deal with it, because it's the truth. And that's it.
Okay.
And if a person chooses to go do suicide after hearing the truth, I ain't the only one that's told them the truth.
Okay. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh boy.
Raheem, why you ask me like you don't know that I'm on this line?
I will come to you next, sis. You know it's not intentional. It's not intentional. I'm coming to you next. Go ahead, Badger. I'm circling around. Go ahead. What's on your heart?
Oh, I think since I was a kid, being around 10 or 11 years old, and in the last 20 years, I just feel like people. Do what?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Badger.
Oh, it just feels like people just can't handle the truth anymore. At all. I mean, you could tell them that, hey, you got a bug in your hair or whatever, and then they're going to want to shoot you because you told them the truth. You're just telling them something that was a little bit wrong. People have gotten so crazy, and like I understand being emotional. I understand, depression and suicide rates and all that stuff, because I live that every day. I've attempted enough times to know that some people are going to live through it and some people ain't. If they're that depressed, then it don't matter what you tell them, they're going to do it. They're going to get to a point where they're just going to do it. Now, this truth stuff, man, I would rather someone just be straight up honest with me than tell me this sugar-coated nonsense that I'm probably not going to understand, because I need someone to tell me directly what's going on. So I've gotten more and more antisocial because of the fact, even if you tell someone the truth, you tell someone the facts, you could even lie to them.
Mm-hmm.
People don't care unless it's going to put money in their pockets most of the time, it seems. So, the mental state of America is in a really weird place.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Rico?
Hey, don't forget the person on the phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No. We just just lost her. She, hopefully she'll call back. We just lost her. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, it's about compassion, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people need to hear the brutal truth. Like, you got people that's on dope, you know what I'm saying, not taking care of their children, being neglectful, losing them, going back and forth to prison. You have to sit down and tell them the brutal truth. Look, you being a butt. You're slipping. Your children come first. You're a terrible dad. You're a terrible mom. It will be some situation where you don't have to worry about buttering it down. If I put it to this way, if a mother or a father is neglecting their children to the point to where their children, their children's lives are at stake.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give you the prime example. I saw some body cam footage yesterday. Some cops had to break into a house, and they found 3 little kids in the house by themselves. All of them were under 3 years of age. And it may have been 6 years of age. I think the oldest was 6. And the mom was gone. She was in court for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage all through the house. Garbage, man. Nasty, filthy. I was just talking about this yesterday, how I've seen people with cars that look like this.
Yeah.
And so it comes a point in time where, you can't overlook something. You got to tell somebody, look, man, that's pitiful. That's disgusting. That's filthy. You need to clean this car out. Like Toya said, hey, look, man, I forgive you for coming to work one day and your body odor was messed up, but you coming every day.
Yeah.
If you can't help that, I'll help you. This don't make no sense. So it's something, you got to be, like I said, you got to use some discernment. We are human beings. We are intelligent, sentient human beings that have more sense than to just not be able to understand that in this purpose of telling the truth, that we still will have to be mindful of how we deliver it. Certain situations will warrant you being brutally honest and you not caring about the person's feelings because they need to hear this. You know what? You need to lose weight. You shouldn't be complaining about nobody not wiping your behind good because you 800 pounds and you can't wipe it. Your little arms can't get around your shoulder. They just sitting there. It won't even reach your butt crack. And you gonna get mad at another person? Nah, if you get mad at me and I'm over here trying to help you, I'm gonna let you know you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I can't say nothing for you to kill yourself. You doing it. You can't even wipe your own butt. So I mean, that everything, every situation, there's a time and a place for everything. I think Ecclesiastes even says that.
Yeah.
So you got to use your logic. You got to use your sentient intelligence to use your logic to understand that if I deliver this truth brutally about the child being dead, about them being cheated on, but I don't know them where they are emotionally, I do not think I'll be able to sleep well at night if they kill themselves. Or if I call somebody else, get murdered. Imagine telling somebody the truth and then they going to kill that person that you told them was cheating on them. Now all of a sudden, oh, that's a shame. He killed her and killed himself. I wonder what happened. And here it is. You sitting up here. I ain't told no truth. I ain't said nothing.
Yeah.
You gonna come out there? I told him the truth. I told him she was cheating. He killed himself, and then he killed her, and then he killed himself, and that's on him. And I am fine with that. I'm sleep good tonight. The truth is the truth. It hurts. Screw the kids. Screw their mom and daddy that might be mourning them. So you got to be mindful because there's a lot of consequences behind our actions. Everybody's actions can eventually, essentially affect other people, especially when that truth that we are trying to tell is really impactful to them. So, you know, be thoughtful and mindful. We human beings, man. It's this thing called empathy and compassion that you just can't flip that switch on and off depending on the conversation. It got to be there 24/7. We call that consistency.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
There are so different scenarios that you have to consider when telling the truth. Okay, here's two friends. They've been friends. Y'all all friends. And one of them is, he gonna go off. I don't care what goes on. So Bob and Jim don't know that Jim is sleeping with Bob's wife.
Good Lord.
And the boy got a violent reaction to everything. Oh, you gonna just break out with the truth? Hey man, Jim's sleeping with your wife. Now, how you think that's gonna turn out?
Jim might not make it.
That boy gonna kill. He gonna kill him. Sure enough, as I can tell you.
Sure enough, as I can tell
you. How you gonna deal with it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Now, here's what I thought about when we was talking about this. Sometimes people get caught up into acts that are just terrible. So I was reminded of the Uriah, David, and Bathsheba. So here comes Nathan, and he needs to confront David about his actions. And he tells him about a story about a little lamb. And David say, that man ought to be killed. He said, you the one. Ain't that something?
Absolutely.
But we have to be, depends on like Rico was saying. I think Rico, you didn't go on to preaching.
Yeah, you preaching this morning, ain't he? Yeah.
Ecclesiastic. Rico come out of Ecclesiastic this morning.
Hey, I had to learn that in school in the 8th grade. So
he pulled it up, didn't
he? He did. Sure did. You heard that, Badger. I call your name out again.
What about me now?
He's just like throwing your name out there, Badger. I think he's just like throwing your name out there, brother.
See, Rico, I was saying Rico to go on to preach it. So you might as well jump out there.
Exactly. Hey, look at let me go. Leonard, are you there?
Yes.
Bring your camera back up for me just for a second. I need your help on something. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up right now, we got another caller. We got another caller on the line, and this is Bishop, not just Bishop, but Leonard,
the good Bishop. Bishop.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hear ye. Bishop, good morning. How you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning, man. I'm not listening to you guys, man. You're true. Y'all something. Y'all feeling?
We had to give you the interest, brother. We had to give you the interest. But listen,
thank you, so much.
Absolutely. We're talking about the truth, and somebody come to your friend of yours, come to your bishop, and they ask you for something. They ask you about something in their life. Do you tell them the absolute truth, knowing that they could be very sensitive? They could even be suicidal if you give them the unadulterated truth. How do you handle that situation, Bishop? Do you tell them the truth, or do you just say, look, do you water it down, or what do you do? Sherelle, come to you next.
I tell them the truth.
Bitch, you gonna kill them people, man. No. Bitch, you gonna kill them people.
No, I ain't gonna kill them. If I lie to them and then they find out the truth, they're gonna get mad and come back and kill me.
Okay.
So I just tell them the truth and talk to them and see what we can do to understand, what can we do to recover from this, or what can we do to help make the situation better for you. And that's the problem. I'm not just going to tell you one thing and then keep and walk off. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you, you know, some other things that's gonna help build you up. And the truth hurts, but a lie hurts worse.
Yeah.
You understand? Oh, I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna tell you that lie so that I can spare you. So now, what am I to believe? I had a friend of mine who did something real stupid, and I told him it was stupid. He worked on the job with a guy, and the guy told me he's gonna steal such and such, and he said, when I told him not to, I said, okay, you told him not to. The guy stole it, but then how you get tied into it? Well, the guy told them I knew. So what you do? And he didn't know that the guy told him at first. He went to the employer. Employee asked him. He said, "No, I ain't know nothing about it." Then he went home and thought about it, came back. Well, the employer already had all the information. He said, "Well, you lied to us. All you have to do is tell us the truth."
Yep.
So he lost his job. Got a wife. Got a couple of children. Now he's jobless because he lied. But the other guy told the truth.
And kept his job.
And the company finally told the truth. Yeah. So now he's screwed. The other guy got the job. Still got the job. Well, at least you acknowledge that you did such and such. So you turn around and say the lie hurt or the truth hurt. Most of the time, the guy gonna kill himself because I told him the truth. Well, if I tell him a lie, he get mad. He'll come and kill me too. Now both of us dead. So I'm just gonna tell you the truth, the same as them.
Wow. That's good. Sherelle, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm just listening to the responses.
Okay. Good deal. Good. K with an E?
But that's I told you the truth. That's it. I can't add nothing to it, and I can't say nothing from it.
That's just what it is. Okay.
True.
I wanted to wait till about 9:30 because I don't think the topic of the day gonna take as much time as the normal topics do. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the next topic. And Rico, this is something I really got this from you. You and I was having a conversation one day, and you said something about this. But and I'm coming to you first, Rico. Do parents sometimes destroy? Oh, you want to say something, Friday?
I do, because I'm going to go to school. I just wanted to say that, you know, even as an individual that may be in a position to have to tell the truth to the friend, again, taking into account that individual and knowing them, is not off the table to include a witness. Whether another person, a family member, or a professional. So it's not that it can't be told, but again, in the delivery process, there's an option to where I don't have to show to that alone, especially if I suspect that they may be mentally unstable or respond in a way that could be detrimental. Like if my mom wanted to tell me some information that could be very much true, she's going to be like, "Oh, what are you doing right now?" to make sure I'm in a safe place. If I'm driving, because I could get hysterical about something. I could be even kilter on everything, but then this could be something that's an area that could be devastating. So I just want to say that it doesn't neglect including a witness. And then, you know, be wisdom in who that witness is.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to fuel a fire. But
exactly. That's good.
I'll be trying to chime in. Otherwise, I gotta hit the class. Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Happy learning. Good deal. Rico, and I say we, I'm not talking about us individually, but as a whole, do we sometimes as parents go out there and get our lights and our kids' name and destroy our kids? Do we destroy our kids' credit sometime, Rico? Do we do that, man?
Man, you know the answer to that question already, man. People been doing that for decades, man. I had classmates with Cable Vision, Cable One in their name and Power Bill in there. How you get a Power Bill? You ain't but 10 years old.
Exactly.
They'd be happy to see some mail in their name. Mama, look, I got some mail. You look, you be like, man, that say Power Bill. How you getting mail? I ain't no birthday card. Yeah, they do it all the time, man. You know, they do it all the time. But before we get that, I gotta go back to something Friday said, man. And it was real deep. Well, I'll get back to it. I'll come back to it later on. But yeah, man, I've seen people do that. I've seen people get tickets, traffic tickets.
Wow.
and use it. I mean, I've seen this with my own eyes. 6 or 7 tickets with their 3-year-old son's name on there. So I mean, this point in time, the 3-year-old is like 20-year-old, 20 now.
Yeah.
So I guess the statute of limitations probably ran out on. They probably know processed it. But it's those type of things that you see people do. They'll do things like that, and then at the same time, I've seen parents mess their children up in worse situations than that. I'm gonna give you a prime example, because that is sort of where this is going, as far as parents sabotaging their children before their children have a chance.
Exactly.
I know a little boy in the 8th or 9th grade right now, man. I've been watching him play football. We in this area that I'm in right now, we got a lot of attention here lately that we fixing to have, and it's fixing to continue probably for another 4 or 5 years of football prospects being like #1 in the nation and stuff like that. And so on this one little guy that I know, he's been rated as the #1 quarterback in the nation since he's been in the 8th or 9th grade, but he can't play in high school. But he has a daddy that has all the money that he can pay to send him to these camps to get ranked. You know, Curtis tell you about the camps that he have to take his son to. That's what this guy does. But see, this guy here, he a street dude, and he ignorant, and he really glorified the street. I mean, he's so captivated by the street that if you get him in a situation where he's around people that's not about that, he'll catch you will catch him sort of glorifying that he came from that. And he's ran his mouth so much to the point to where this boy ain't got a football team to play on because he keep messing up with the coaches. He keep keeping up trouble. The boy has went to these camps and earned everything that he's earned and to build his name up. And then as a 9th grader last year, people still wondering, well, why is he not starting on the football team? Why is he sitting behind people that doesn't have this ranking? Then I found out last week that the boy don't even have a chance. He's looking for a school to go to right now.
Wow.
And the dad is still messing him up with that mouth. This same dad that just told me that he told me that going to IMG Academy in Florida would be a step down. IMG Academy is a school that travels the United States playing national high school sports against other schools that have national ranked players on their teams. So you're playing against the best of the best. You're really playing against college competition, but you're in high school. Yeah, he said that was a step down for his son. So that lets you know the mindset. But you know, parents, I've seen plenty of parents sabotage their children, not only just with the programming or the toxic masculinity or street codes or being gangsters. I've seen parents teach their children to flash gang signs. I've seen parents teach their children to become bullies or disrespectful. And now later on in life, they stay in that category and they can't stop them from being disrespectful. Now the disrespect is coming back on them. You wondering why they telling you to shut up in public. Well, you told them to tell other adults to shut up when they were 3 or 4 years old. So I've seen parents sabotage the children because the parents are the first teachers, especially the mother. Exactly.
Okay, what do you say to that, man? Do we sometimes destroy our children's credit while they're so young? They can't even, they man, 7 years old. What you doing with the lights, the gas, and everything in your name? 7? Okay, do we do that?
Most definitely. I thank God my parents didn't do it though. They didn't, and they taught us when I turned 15 and got my first job. Like we was told then, you don't spend all your money. You make sure you have some of that money left over when you get that other check. And if you continue to do that, you're gonna have something. I thank my mama for that. Thank my daddy for that. He always told us to be 15 minutes early than 15 minutes late. Now that didn't stick with me so well.
Truth coming out now. We getting some truth.
No, don't mess up his credit. Like I let my daughter get a credit card because they gave it to her. I shouldn't let her get it though, but I did. But I told her, go ahead, you can have a credit card. They giving it to you. But, I think she probably finally got that thing paid off.
Wow. Let me go to Bishop. Bishop, what do you say to that, man? Do we as parents sometimes mess up our, and when I say we, I'm not talking about us individually, but you know what I mean? Do we mess up our kids' credit sometimes?
Yeah, some parents do. So their credit all jacked up. They'll take the child's information and then utilize it for their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And the same situation they're in, they've not put their child in. Their child is not beginning to live.
Mm-hmm.
So they do it, and it's not right. It's not fair. It's not right to the child that you prohibit his growth and development.
Mm-hmm.
Start off with a bad credit score.
Yeah.
You ain't number 4 years old.
Yeah. Mama, they say I already got a car in my name. They say, Mama, I ain't got no car. Leonard, what do you say to that, brother? Do we sometimes mess it up for our children?
No, I guess some people do, man. It's real crazy. You know, that a person would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, it just depends, I guess, who you associate with. Some people just don't, you know, they don't care. Some people in situations, they're doing the best that they can or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I think just for a common mistake sometimes, like me and my dad. Me and my dad have the same name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think he had some library fines.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a time, when I would go to the library, sometimes those fines would come up. And then, you know, I was like, it was fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they made the mistake.
Yeah.
Why would I be renting a Langston Hughes album at 6 years old? You know. So, you know, people do the darndest thing. But you know, identity theft is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Leonard.
Exactly.
Raheem said the child 4 years old got a brand new car.
Right.
Mama won't justify it because she went and bought him a Mattel car. And she went to the dealership and bought him a Maserati.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all talking about just straight out thug life. You're just straight out people that'll do anything.
Exactly.
You know, so that's a bit far for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the notion of somebody that would destroy their kids' credit and things like that, man, that's horrible.
It is.
Would do that, and I hope y'all don't keep too much company with them type of people.
Exactly. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Can do we sometimes as parents destroy our children's credit?
Oh, without a doubt. I see it all the time. I deal with it every day. Like right now, I done got to a point where when I find placement and, you know, I get a particular client into the housing and all of that, I already go on and do a form so that the BG&E bill can be disputed.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these young folk, they go in, you know, you can't really sign your lease until you have BG&E in your name. And they can't get BG&E in their name because they got $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 balance in their name. And you look at their age and you look at when this bill was. I mean, what 13-year-old kid you know gonna walk in BG&E and say, hey, I want to open up a BG&E account. I need gas and electric.
Exactly.
That don't happen. So I see it all the time. But I did want to comment on something because you never came back to me. And with the telling the truth thing.
Okay.
And one of the greatest clinicians I ever worked with, and I've been blessed to work with some really phenomenal clinicians, but one of the greatest ones I ever worked with, her name was Jasmine McEwen. And the one thing I learned from her as a clinician and as a counselor was, first, always understand, coming out of your mouth with truth, who is that truth that you're telling actually beneficial to? Is it beneficial to you because that's just what kind of person you are? Or is it beneficial? Is it going to be beneficial to the person that you are giving that truth to? Because I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to tell all your listeners, it's a price to pay if that thing goes south. And I'm telling you that not as a human being, well, both as a human being as a clinician and or counselor, because I got that situation. I live with it every single day because I was so embedded and embodied with, oh, I'm just going to hand you the truth. You know, at this point, I was burnt out and I was really getting frustrated with the things I was hearing. Oh, I'm just going to hand you the truth. And sure enough, I got the call that night that the ambulance was escorting this client to the hospital. He tried to kill himself.
Wow.
Now, good thing, thank God, that God saw fit not to take him out of here, right? But, you know, he wrote a little note and put it on his nightstand with my name on the note.
Wow.
And so, you know, I get it. You know, we want to be truthful, especially when we're being asked to ask our advice. But I learned from Miss McEwen that, Curtis, what is your truth and what is your reality is most of the time not the person that's coming to you to get truth and reality. It's not theirs. And we have to be mindful of the consequences of the words that we say. Gotta be mindful of that. I get it though. Some people are just brutally honest. I get that, you know, and I completely understand that. My question is just always, who is it for? Is it truly for the person that you're being brutally honest to? Or is it because that's who you are and you can't get out your own way? And that's no knock to anybody that, please let me put this disclaimer. That is not a knock to anybody who believes in brutal honesty.
Yeah.
That is just some food for thought.
Okay. Let me go to Badger. I'm gonna circle back around to Bishop. Bishop, I think he has something to say to us as well. Badger, what's on your heart?
Man, in my opinion, the parents that are doing that to their kids need to be taken to jail. I don't have no respect for a parent that would do something like that. You owe more to your children than doing something like that. I'm kind of in shock. I didn't know that kind of stuff was happening, or didn't know that stuff goes on. So I'm sitting here listening to all this stuff and I'm going, I'm glad I'm not a senator or anything like that, because I'd be making a law that falsification of information, you know, I guess it'd be a lot more people in jail, because it's already bad enough, you know, they're taking truth out of schools and everything else, and now I'm hearing there's people that will literally like make it where once their kids reach the age of become an adult, they have all these back bills to pay that they didn't even know that they had because their parents were irresponsible. Because they wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. That's messed. That's a whole nother level of messed up.
Yes, sir.
I've heard of it. I'm just, and I guess another thing that like gets to me is, if you know somebody's doing that, why don't you report it? I know some places wouldn't care, and I'm really surprised that you could do that with a power bill or anything else, because some places require you to have your driver's license and stuff like that. So I don't even understand how they can get away with it.
It happens. It happens, brother. It really happens, and it is, and to your point, it's very sad that that a parent will want to put their child in a situation like that.
Absolutely, and it boils down to the truth thing too. You know, you're not being truthful to your kids at that point. You're literally using them as a stock to get what you want. Why should you care about paying that bill? It's not going to affect you. It's going to affect them. So why should you care?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you know, do they actually really care about that child? Or do they want that child to live and go through the same thing that they're going through?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow.
That's disgusting.
It is. It is. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I'm going to say this, and I know the experience of being lied on.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to defend a lie that was told about me, and the people believed the lie, which also discredited me because the folks were so accustomed to hearing from people or this particular person who supposed to have been out there and made a statement against me. So here I am dealing with this and taking 10 steps back, trying to move forward because I had to fight against the lie. But God said in his word, Revelation 21:8, all liars, not some of them, when they're brought in the lake burned with fire and brimstone. Jesus began to tell us that the devil is a liar, and he's the father of lies. If you want to justify lies, then that means you're willing to have your relationship with the devil. That's what he is. He's a lie and the father of lies. The script begins because this is a religious station, even though we have different topics. It's still a religious station.
Yes.
That we're supposed to promote the truth, not support a lie being told by anybody for the sake of. And my wife will ask me a question, and I'm straight up and I tell her, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me.
Yeah. That's
how I say it. She go ahead and tell her, and I tell her. Well, she'll get upset with me with what I said, but she said, I appreciate you telling me the truth. And that's just it, because I would rather tell the truth and tell a lie, because I don't want to have to deal with the lie, just like the guy did, who told a lie that his buddy did not steal the vehicle, and the guy had already confessed and stole it, and said he stole the vehicle and threw his name in the middle of it. Guy still got a job. The homeboy ain't got his now, because he told a lie to cover buddy. He didn't, and that was just it. And the couple said, if you just went on and told us the truth, we would have worked through it. But you lied.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important. It's unfortunate I was listening to Kirk's story that he told the guy the truth and the guy went and killed himself. Well, just like I said, in certain circumstances, you have to be able to work through it and try to talk to the guy before he goes and does something stupid.
Exactly.
Or the individual could be a guy or girl. It doesn't matter. But let's tell the truth and shame the devil and let's keep it moving.
Exactly.
Truth do hurt. But a lot hurts a whole lot worse than the truth.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. VP, do we have VP with us?
No, it's me again.
Hey, good deal. I want to ask you a question now. Do we as parents sometimes, and when I say we, certainly I'm not talking about us individually, but do parents sometimes destroy their children's credit by putting bills in their name when they're so young, they ain't even old enough to have a bill? What do you say to that?
I think that they do, and it does, especially if they do it from a position of not trying to help them build longevity in their credit. What's the intent in the heart on why they did it, and are they responsible enough with their own credit to probably do that to the benefit that it could be. Nowadays, they have the kids' credit cards that you can now utilize. So you don't have to do that. But I grew up where I had friends that would complain about their parents putting things and bills in their name in order for them to have something and I say have something like pertaining to the home, because their credit was so messed up that they moved into an apartment, but they couldn't get heat, electricity, so they put it in their kids' name. And then after a period of time, whatever reason, out of work or this, that, and the third, maybe not their initial intentions to ruin their credit, but the end result is that they missed payments and the credit was now messed up for the child. So, now that they're of age and trying to get things started for themselves, they're looking to try to go to school, they get their part in scholarships and whatnot, they're getting hit with, oh, well, you got bad credit. And like, how? So I think it does happen. It happens way more than what it should happen and from the wrong intent. But you have to look at we can't see the angle of the heart, but we can see the product of what the end result was of how they did it, and you know, are they going out their way to try to make it right again? But a lot of times that's not the situation. A lot of times they're doing it because they messed up their credit. So they're like, oh, well, I know your credit good because you ain't got nothing yet, and it ain't gonna matter because you only 8. So by the time you get 16, 17, 18, we're gonna have it figured out, and then they don't, and it's all jacked up all the way. And so, and then another way is that also they mess up their credit in the sense of not teaching them how to handle money. So even though they're not putting something in their name, the neglect of even teaching them how to handle money produces the same results, in my mind, because now you've not given them the tools they need to understand and learn how to have the credit. So it's two ends of the same sword.
Exactly. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, you with us? Tucson, you there?
Yeah.
Tucson, let me ask you this question, man. Let me ask you this question. Now, the mother's credit is messed up. Totally tore up. Can't even get a Snicker bar. Can't even get a Snicker bar on credit. Okay. And so she go out there, they need a new apartment, and she get the apartment in her son's name. 8-year-old son, get the apartment in his name. It's 8, 9 o'clock. It's time for the boy to go to bed. Mama says, boy, you know, get your behind it, take a shower, get yourself ready for bed and go to bed. And it's time for you to go to bed. He said, no, Mama, you go to bed. This is my apartment. This is my apartment. Yeah, you gonna tell me to go to bed. You in my house. It's my house. To the son. Now he's right. It's his house. It's in his name. Tucson, what's really going on?
Why you bring it like that? Why you bring it like that to me? Because you know it's a reality. Sure is.
Yeah.
I mean, we act like it's not a reality. And so what's the solution? Because there are people that really have been struggling we got 5 baby daddies that ain't worth a nickel.
Yeah.
And they have no way out. I'm not trying to justify it.
Yeah.
But you're talking about I've heard, and don't get this twisted, but here we go. I'm gonna get cross with some people this morning because
come on.
When we say, and don't get twisted with me, and I don't really care because none of you know me anyway. But we're talking about, I done lost respect. I don't have respect for people. Well, okay. Yeah.
Put it out there, Tucson. Come on now. Leonard, what's wrong with your brother, man? What's wrong with your brother, Leonard?
That's pretty good.
Is he doing something else?
That's what we talk about when we don't want to tell the truth. But there are situations where people get in these situations, and then you say, I don't have no respect for you. Well, okay, don't have no respect for them. But there are mothers, I know there are, that have stretched themselves out to the max, and they have I mean, maybe you don't look at it the big picture. You just look at it as you, but it ain't about you. We all want everybody to fit in our mindset. That's the problem with society. So there are people that, sure enough, here's another thing about that. There are people that they start their children off at a young age trying to develop them. That's why they have so good of a credit, because they put their stuff, okay, you're going to pay the light bill, you're going to pay the gas bill, I'm going to get a car in your name. And when they get 18, they have excellent credit. And you're trying to figure out how in the world is this child just got in college and he has financed his whole situation, because their parents kind of ushered them into that. So I'm not the one to talk to about that.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
Okay. Good deal.
If you want the truth.
It's absolute truth, unadulterated truth. Leonard, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next.
Like I say, people. I don't usually knock a person's hustle like that. For whatever reason they're doing whatever they're doing. You know, some people take way too many risks, I think. But you know, I look at it all as the same thing as I think identity theft.
Yeah.
So why somebody doing something? That's they reasons for how they, you know, getting it or how they living, you know, or what they feel like they have to do. You can do it for a great reason, like Tucson just mentioned. Why wouldn't you want your child to have good credit? If there was a way that you can ensure that they have good credit and get them a head start, why wouldn't you do that?
Would it be better just to add them on one of your credit card if you got good credit yourself, and you could just add your child on to your credit card? They don't have to get a credit card or anything like that. But what that's going to do is it's going to automatically boost their credit anyway, instead of putting a bill in their name.
Like I say, I don't really care how you do it. That's your business. How you do what you do. What's the outcome? What you trying to do? Is you trying to do what you for a good reason or for a bad reason?
Yeah.
Is it a criminal reason? Or is it just to get somebody ahead or get them in advance or whatever? The law determine whether or not it's legal or illegal.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever you do, you just want to make sure there's a good way to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to break the law even.
Sometimes they do, though, Leonard. Sometimes they do, brother.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes they do, but there are some things that are like that was one of my main things about the street hustle game. Is that why would I go and get involved with a hustle that has so many risks when I can go and learn the system and play the system?
Yep.
And play the game.
Yep. Exactly.
Play the game by the rules.
And win.
Exactly. So it never made sense to me, because if you're a great hustler, you're always trying to reduce risk. If you're gambling, you're trying to reduce risk. If you're investing, you're trying to reduce risk. So I don't knock the hustle. I don't knock how people go about getting those gains. You know, I don't know what they're willing to risk or how they're willing to get it done.
Exactly.
But for some people or what have you, I don't look at it as really a negative thing unless it's actual theft.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Rico, and we got another caller. We're going to go to the caller. Rico, what's on your heart? What do you say to it, brother? You pointed to yourself. When I said about it's my house, you pointed to yourself, brother.
No, I didn't mean me. I was just imitating what you were saying. He would be saying, this is my house.
Yeah, exactly.
I was glad Donald went that direction, because when we first got on it, I was like, well, I could go in that direction, but he did say mess up their children credit. So, you know, and because, you know, I know situations in better prepared families where parents would probably put up business. They'll put something in that child's name to build that credit, just as Donald said. So, you know, it goes back to what Leonard said. Are they trying to get something good out of it or bad out of it? Now, Donald also mentioned the fact that it may be a necessity. We got to survive in this world.
Yeah.
You know, I just mentioned earlier the suicide rates are up. And he mentioned 5 children and 5 different baby daddies, all of them deadbeats. Maybe she just made a bunch of mistakes and she just get children and they ain't deadbeats. She don't even know who the daddies are. She just been living her life and making mistakes and blowing money. But somebody got to survive. So she does have to do this to provide a roof over these children's head. So it's all about the reason behind people doing things. Because sometimes you hear something that sounds terrible and disgusting, and it's a reason why, if you put yourself in them shoes, even though you might say, I would never be in those shoes. Okay, maybe you would never be in those shoes, but they are. And with them being in those shoes, maybe they did have to use this child's credit. Now, I'm like Badger. I ain't never been able to figure out how they could even do that. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if you were doing it for the right reason, you could go to a bank or to a financial advisor, and they could show you how to do it legally. They could show you how to buy stocks and put it in them children's name. So they could already have stock on Wall Street, cryptocurrency, all that. So, you know, it's all about the reason behind it. But, you know, staying on the point of being negative and them messing up the children's credit. We got to understand that this is actually equivalent to proof of showing that some parents will use children as opportunities or benefits. You know, only if they're beneficial to them. That's when they'll neglect them on everything else, but only use them when they're beneficial to them.
Exactly.
sometimes people will use children as pawns. It's almost equivalent as using a child as a pawn. So you using it, you using the child to get ahead, or sometimes you just doing it because you bad with money and you want this TV and you don't plan on paying for this TV nowhere, and it ain't gonna come back to your credit. That's a disgusting parent. So I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, I always felt like Badger brought up legislation, being a legislator. I think in situations like this is one of the times where if DCF or somebody or child custody or anything ever had to come up with a child, one of the tools or one of the things that probably should happen is that maybe they should do a credit check on children. Because that is a big indicator of what is going on in that household. If they do a credit check on a child that has DCF or children's services interaction, that can now also tell a lot. Is this parent good with money? I'm looking at the house. The house got garbage everywhere. They got pissy clothes everywhere. But they got a car in their name, got an apartment in this child's name. This child got a dealer's account. This child got a Macy's account. Well, where is everything? So I mean, it is that really goes to show you just how vulnerable a child is, even to a parent. Exactly. Somebody said, "Why don't somebody tell?" I think that was bad to say. Why don't somebody tell? Man, people do that in secret if they ain't got the right motives. So how would they tell? A child gonna discover that. Who's that child gonna tell? They ain't gonna know to tell anybody. They just gonna say, "Hey, I got some mail. My power bill in my name. I'm grown." They gonna feel like they grown because they got a power bill. They ain't gonna realize mama finna mess it up. So when I get grown and you turn my power bill on, I got $1,000 bill waiting on me.
Exactly. Let me see who I got left on the line here. I try to catch it with Cassandra. Cassandra just called back in. So Cassandra, if you're listening, call back in. Let me see. Something going on with this phone line. I don't know what that just happened with that. But anyway, man, there's a lot tied into this thing, man, about putting the bills in the kid's name. Kate, what do you say to that? What do you say to a parent that would mess up their children's credit in that way? Kay, are you there? Kay, are you there? Can you hear me? Her and that doggone remote. There she go. I think she got it. Kay, are you there?
I'm here. I'm actually in the backyard. I'm taking this dumb dog.
You doing what?
What's going on?
What's
I'm in the backyard with my dog.
Yeah, she said she's tackling the dog or something.
You might not want to
tangling him. It's just crazy.
You might not want him to tackle you now.
She's untangling him. She untangling him.
I feed him. He don't feed me.
Oh,
that's for sure. So he ain't gonna never attack me.
There you go. What do you say about a parent that's putting their bills in their child's name?
I don't know. I think it's crazy. But my granddaughters, they got a credit score. 800.
Yeah.
And I had to tell my daughter, I said, that comes from good parenting skills, baby. Because when your daughter being that age, I have a friend and her daughter got no credit because her mama used it. Then the grandma came along and used it.
Wow.
So I thank God that instead of them running their credit up, they show them how to build their credit.
Exactly. That's good. Cassandra,
nice little credit.
Absolutely. Cassandra, before we get out of here, I want to come to you and ask you the question. Do parents sometimes destroy their children's credit young when the kids are 8, 9 years old, putting the bills in the children's name? Cassandra, does that happen?
Oh, it happens. I'm actually guilty of that back in the day. I didn't destroy the credit, but I did use the credit because we were struggling. I found us a place, but I needed to get the lights on. They were talking something like $300-400 deposit. I ain't had 50 cents. And so, off of my credit. And so I did. My daughter, I think she was a teenager at the time. I mean, I kept it up and I never, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never let it be negative on her, on her end. But I did do it. So I know that there are times, I'm not talking about parents just doing it for the hell of it because, they're lazy and they're not trying. I'm talking about, I know people that have used their kids' credit to do stuff because they had to. They had to have lights on. They had to do, certain things. So I'm not talking about buying your luxury car, all that. I ain't talking about nothing like that. I'm talking about survival.
Yeah, exactly. And in some situation like
and
Rico,
I don't agree with it, but I did it, and I'm honest about mine. I did it.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing that Rico was just talking about. Sometimes it's out of necessity. Sometimes it's out of necessity, man. If you want a time, man, you gotta have some heat. You gotta have some heat, man, or you're gonna freeze in certain parts of the country. You're gonna freeze. And so if your credit is not up to par where you can do it, and we're not telling you to do this now. Let me put that disclaimer out there. We're not telling you to do it, but we are saying that sometimes it's necessary. It's necessary for survival. Sometimes it's necessary. Is it right? I don't think I'm not even gonna say it's right. But sometimes, what's right ain't right.
And Raheem, I got a prime example of when it was done, and it was probably very acceptable. When that recession hit, and a lot of these families lost their homes and had to go out on the streets, and their credit went downhill because of how everything happened. I guarantee you, some people that were doing good but suffered at that time, when they got back on their feet, it was on their children's names, and they just made sure they did it correctly, so the children could benefit in the long run, but everybody could survive, and at the same time, it left them with room to improve their situation and get back on their feet. Sometimes it's a necessity. So I don't want everybody to think that we just talking about the hood, mama.
Yeah.
Because there's some white people out there do the same thing. People lose. I mean, these same people that jump off of buildings when they lose money in Vegas. People go through hard times and they need to survive. And that recession it didn't matter what color you were. It was some very well-off people end up on that street, standing out there with them same signs we condemn people for, asking for assistance.
Leonard?
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart before we get out of here, man? Where your video at?
Oh, I was doing something else, Raheem.
Okay, gotcha. We're gonna dock your pay today, brother.
Really be on the video.
We're gonna dock your pay today, brother. We're gonna dock some of your pay today. Well, what do you say to that before we get out of here, Leonard? This whole situation, sometimes, like we said, sometimes it's out of necessity. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's right, but it's necessary. What do you say to that?
Well, however the situation you got yourself in where it became necessary, that's your business. But if, like I said before, there are some people who do it for positive reasons, especially when you become more financially literate. You learn things that are very legal, like, say, for instance, with setting up business accounts and employing your children and paying them a certain way or what have you. As long as you're managing your business, but you should not be doing it carelessly and not caring of the damage that you do. That's completely different. And that has to be taken into consideration. Value, judgments or what have you belong to you. You should be the type of person to say that, one, okay, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. But if someone else does it, that's their business. That's, my policy on that issue.
Good deal. Been a great broadcast today. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmedia.com.
Good deal. Bishop, can I get you to pray us out, sir?
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, we come before you this present hour, thanking you, Lord God, for all that you do and have done for last night's rest, rise, Lord God, for the use and activity of our limbs. Thank you, Lord God, for all that you do, Lord God, and as we pray that you continue to bless DKM Media Group, bless Raheem, bless everyone that calls in and those that listen. Lord God, we trust and hope and pray, Father God, that the words we speak are edifying to those that listen. And we thank you so much for all that there is. In your name, Christ, you, our Lord, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:05. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug. Because you never know, it could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day, and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light in you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please be blessed.